Welcome to Six's Overdrive. It's good to be back, guys. It's been a long time, over a year. But today, I'm here to tell you about my Biktrix Stunner X. And over the last 2 years, I've put over 5,000 kilometers on this bike. And it's been an electrifying experience so far. So guys, before we get into this, remember to share, like, comment, and subscribe. When I come back, we'll get into this review. First things first, let's talk about the looks. The Stunner X is definitely not a typical looking bike. Now the control panel. There are better and there are worse. We're riding right in the middle here. You can control most of the functions from here, like turning on your lights, setting your pass level, unlocking the limiter. You didn't hear that from me. And a lot more. But it is by no means fancy. It's been ridden in rainstorms. I've put the bike down a few times, and when you do get into a crash or fall off your bike or whatever, it's pretty well protected right in between the handlebars. I haven't had any issues with any problems with that little controller. I think it's called the C961. So performance, how does this thing run? It runs really well. Like, it is a mid-drive 750 watt Bafang motor, and it pulls like crazy. If you're in first gear, the thing will flip over before you ever do anything to make it power out. If you're down in first gear and first level or whatever and just using the throttle, it'll go up hills that'll make you flip over backwards. It's really that powerful. It has a top speed of about 50 kilometers an hour when it's unlocked. If you buy it right from the factory, it's going to be locked to 30 kilometers an hour. That's trying to get into this the regulations that they have for bike trails and stuff. So yeah, it comes locked. You can unlock it. The guys down at the dealership did it for me. But this bike is powerful. And as I said, I pulled my son in that white thing back there, the yellow and blue thing. And my son is graduated high school. And so he's about 150 pounds, and that thing just whistles. We can still get it up over 40 kilometers an hour. Safety is critical, and that's where this one is a little bit on the lean side. Like, I would like to see better brakes. These ones squeak a lot, they make a lot of noise. They ended up drained out of the mineral oil. Like, your plate gets closer and closer every year. The pedal height's a little bit low on it, so if you're going around a corner, you got to remember to just always, you know, coast through the corner and keep your pedals parallel. And it does haul the bike down, but like I said, I pull that trailer behind, and yeah, it's harder to stop down a hill than you want it to. And of course, this is a pretty heavy bike. Lighter than some of the other ones. This one's only 75 pounds, but still, that's a heavy bike. Let's talk about the comfort, and this one is very comfortable. It's got a big seat in it. It's got front suspension, which isn't a great front suspension if you're doing jumps and stuff. You don't want to do that on this bike. It's not that purpose driven. But everything else, the seat is nice. The back wheels lower the pressure a little bit. Boom, good. You might, if you really want to keep it tender on the tush, you might want to get one of these thud buster seat things. They go under your, they just make your seat basically suspension. And I've heard lots of great things about those. I might buy one of those yet. This bike is a lot lighter than some of the other e-bikes out there, which makes it nice for carriers. If you're carrying the bike to go on a long trip kind of with it on the back, you need a pretty good hitch, a good hitch thing to hold the weight of these bikes. And this one's a good 10-15 pounds lighter than most of the ones in its class. Now, also, I got this thing tuned up. It hasn't run perfectly the whole time, but it's more preventative maintenance. And one, I knew my chain, I was over 3,000 when I got it maintained, and I know the chain and sprockets and stuff like that aren't going to last, so I got those changed up. I got everything mainly done at that checkup. I got the brakes bled and filled back up again, so the feel was better. They re-spoke the wheel for me. It was getting a little bit tight and we couldn't find one to order. That's during the COVID stuff and everything, where everything was back shipped. Now, with its versatility, the one thing you really have to watch is the front tire and the back tires. They're more of a road pattern kind of thing. And when you get onto gravel and grass and something a little bit slippier, the front end can go out. And I think that's also a bit because of the riding pattern with me having it on the low seat height. You got way more weight to the back, and then the front end is lighter. Let's talk about battery life. I actually bought an upgraded battery in this one, so it's not the lowest one, but one up from that, I think. Batteries are expensive. The battery life on this is pretty decent, about 50 to 60k I'd say, and I have the upgraded battery and that's going in low mode. Everyday driving might be around say 30 kilometers. 5,000 kilometers is a lot of kilometers, and I think this review will help you. If you need to comment in the comments below, if you have any other questions or things that I missed. This was just a general ride around and tell you that it's standing the test of time. This goes through way more than most bikes, you know, unless you get the mountain biker racer type $10,000. This bike cost me $3,000, and I think it's still around the same price. Also, there is a Stunner X that comes with a bigger wheel package. They end up going 26 instead of the 24s I have, but it makes the bike a lot bigger and it doesn't feel as secure when it's on the road. But it might be nice for your tailbone, and it also might be nice for handling in gravel, grass, you know, anything that's a little bit slippy. So if you're doing more of that, it might be the better bike to go with. So if you're ready to turn the mundane into a nice, exciting, fast, exhilarating day out, then this Stunner X will do good for you. And as long as you keep it maintained, I think it'll last a lot longer. It's not really showing any signs of the motors going bad in it or anything, but there will be wear and tear on these, just be aware. Okay guys, that's about all I have for now. Remember to share, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll try to get you more regular content in the future. Sorry for the long time off.